Pioneer fans, Pioneer Women's Varsity Soccer is live and on the air. Whoop, as that doesn't appear to be coming through. Had that come through just a little earlier. Let's see if we can't. Interesting. Alrighty. See if we can play over here. Oh, apparently our music is not working, but that's all right. We will hop right into things as it is Pioneer Women's Varsity Soccer Live taking on Saline. About a minute left in the JV game beforehand, 2-0 Pioneer. The goal early in the first half, and then a goal shortly about a minute ago. Pioneer with the lead. Pioneer will be taking on the two varsity teams. Pioneer women's varsity soccer is 6-6-3 on the season. Started off with a tie versus Trenton. Then Pioneer beat Chelsea 4-2. Lost to Woodhaven 3-2. It was a tie versus Seaholm 0-0. Then Pioneer beat Bedford 8-0 here at Hollway Field. They fell to Huron 2-1 over at Riverbank Stadium. Skyline won here at Hollway Field 2-0, and Dexter won 1-0 here. That was away at Dexter. Pioneer beat Saline. That was over at Saline back on the 26th of April. That was 1-0. Pioneer with the lead. Then they beat Lincoln 8-0 here at Hollway Field. They beat Bedford 4-1. That was at on the 2nd of May. They tied Huron here at Hollway Field 1-1 back on the 5th. They lost to Skyline over at Skyline 4-0. They beat Monroe at Monroe 8-0, and then fell to Dexter in a tight game that Pioneer had to lead early, but ended up falling 3-2 due to a late goal by Dexter to take that 3-2 lead. So Pioneer 6-6-3. Taking a look over at Saline. Saline is 8-4-2 on the season. They started off with the tie versus Walled Lake Northern. That was 1-1. They beat Okemos 2-1. They had a scoreless tie with Huron 0-0. That was over at Saline. They beat Ypsilanti Lincoln 11-0. They lost to Brighton that back on the 15th of April 1-0. They beat Monroe 8-0. They had two losses to Skyline 2-1, that back on April 21st, and then a loss to Pioneer, that on the 26th. Again, that was Pioneer winning 1-0 over at Saline. Then Saline had two wins in a row, big win 8-0 over Temperance Bedford, that down at Bedford, and beat Dexter 3-1. They fell to Huron. That was on the 4th. That was over at Riverbank Stadium. That was a 2-1 loss. Then they have three wins in a row, beating Ypsilanti Lincoln 9-0. That back on the 5th of May. They beat Monroe on the back on May 7th. That was 8-0. That was over at Monroe. And then they handed Skyline their first loss in the SEC Red. That was yesterday, or 2 days ago on the 10th. That was 1-0. So coming off of three big wins, none bigger than the win over Skyline. Saline hoping to keep the winning ways going. Pioneer would love to come up with a big win versus Saline. What's up next on the schedule for Pioneer? Well, they will be away at Lincoln on the 17th, and that will be a 6 p.m. game over at Lincoln. And then the final home game of the season will be on the 19th versus Monroe here at Hollway Field. So that's what's coming up for Pioneer Varsity Women's Soccer. Unfortunately, we do have some sad news. The entire Pioneer athletic community is in mourning today, as it is just reading off of a email from Principal Mr. Tracy Lauder, that it is with great sadness that we have to share with you the death of a Pioneer 10th grader, Alex Walker, who passed away on Wednesday, May 11th, yesterday. Alex was a member of the football and track teams here at Pioneer, always had a smile on his face, and his mom shared that he loved attending Pioneer. He does have a sibling who graduated from Pioneer, another sibling attending Pioneer, and one who is attending Tappan. Alex's mom would like to share that Alex's death was from drowning after jumping off the train trestle at Bandamere Park. Well, a group of friends from Pioneer and Skyline were together yesterday afternoon at the river. You may have seen that the Ann Arbor Fire Department shared the dangers of jumping off of any bridge or overpass into the Huron River due to hidden debris in the water and a lot of unpredictable and strong currents in the Huron River. The announcement was made during second hour by classroom teachers, so the students have been made aware, but we just want to share our thoughts and prayers with the Walker family, and express our great sorrow in the loss of, by all means, what seemed to be a wonderful, wonderful young gentleman. So we'll step away. We have about 6 minutes, 30 seconds left to go here. So see if we can't possibly get this back up and going with our items. So let's play a little messages from the MHSAA.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports, as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
We're live here at Hollway Field, where game time temperature is a palmy 82 degrees. We have blue skies and some wispy clouds. The moon has come out up over Hollway Field. It is just an absolutely gorgeous day for some fantastic soccer, as it is Pioneer versus Saline here at Hollway Field. 40 minutes up on the clock, as we will have... Get going with the pregame lineups and national anthem momentarily, as we have a good crowd here. Everyone happy that they don't have to be with their umbrellas, things of that nature out here. So folks still filing in for the varsity match. Again, big win by the JV squad, 2-0, as right before this. Both teams gathered across the way. Pioneer in their purple kits with the white numbers on the front, or on the back and on the front. Saline in their white kits. As John welcoming everyone over the public address system. Now, David coming out. Carroll being announced. Snyder coming out. Freedholm coming out. And Driscoll coming out. Caldwell being announced. Cahill being announced. Rumor being announced. Hornberger being announced. Maloney coming out. Bowen coming out. Abloff being announced. Martin coming out. Rain being announced for Saline. Kraft coming out. Koch coming out to midfield. Samaru coming out. Cruz coming out to midfield. Warden coming out. Abby Gray coming out. Lee Rumble is the head coach. Assistant coach Connor Williams. Now for Pioneer. Knox and Igotoski come out. Webb comes out. Krupka comes out. Lee coming out to midfield. Kramer coming out to midfield. Samaha being announced. Nanos comes out. Leonard comes out onto the field. Zizinski coming out. Baker comes out. Mahmoud coming out. 13 is Hood. Tikakar is 14. Smith is 15. Paul McDonald coming out. Sleeman heads out to midfield. Powell heads out to midfield. Neubauer coming out for Pioneer. Auer heads out to midfield. Karsh comes out to midfield. Jaco comes out. Poppins heads out onto the field. Saban Norman is the head coach for Pioneer. As John announces the officials.
Curtis Wensley and Alan Stout, and the man in the middle, the referee, Steve Best. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you rise now for the playing of the national anthem. Please stand by. One moment, please.
Yeah, 40 minutes up on the clock, getting ready to go here. The officials come out right in the center circle. This ball getting set between the blockades. As we are getting ready for Pioneer versus Saline in women's varsity soccer. Both teams gathered around, as we said, Pioneer in their purple kits, Saline in their white kits with the numbers in dark blue outlined in yellow on the front and on the back. Saline in block lettering across the front, Pioneer with those numbers in white on the front and back. Pioneer in block lettering across the front. Saline out onto the field. Now Pioneer heads out onto the field. Knox to our right in goal. Trying to take a look. That looks like 00. I believe that's David to our left. As Powell getting ready. Waiting for the signal fire, the official, and we are underway. Comes back to Karsh. Karsh launches it all the way down into the attacking third. That goes out of the near touchline. Over racing to get it is Hornberger. Hornberger goes, grabs the ball. Comes along the near touchline for the throw-in. Hornberger looking in now, launch towards the center line. That brought back, popped up high in the air. Samaha trying to feed it forward, trying to get the lead. That launched, lobbed all the way down into the Pioneer defensive third. Karsh heading it back over, trying to get to Samaha. As that ball sent back into the defensive third for Pioneer. Karsh to restart. Karsh launches the ball all the way down the field. As that's moved, trying to get it over is Hood. Hood feeding it now, coming down on the far way. That's sent back over the center line. Racing to get it. Here comes Martin. Martin coming ahead with it. Martin sends it. That goes just to Knox's right, but out of bounds. That will result in a corner kick for Saline. As we are in the, would be the second minute. 38-27 and counting. As Gray goes over to take the corner. Gray gets it set up for this set piece. Gray with the cross, that headed by Karsh, comes over and goes out on the near touchline. That will be a throw-in for Saline. As bringing it in is Cahill. Or nope, now they'll have that brought in by Hornberger. The ball over to Lee. Lee trying to send it over on the near wing. Pulled away. Trying to come in. That ball over to Martin. Martin. That goes just to the wide side of the goal. That will result in a goal kick. Knox will bring it out. Put it on the edge of the 6. And Karsh will blast it away. 0-0 is our score. Under 37:30 left to go here in the first. Karsh has it set on the edge of the 6, steps back, gets a little bit of room to work. Karsh with the blast as that arcs downfield. Sent the other direction by Saline, trying to pull it over on the near wing is Cruz. Cruz heads towards the touchline, then feeds it ahead. Ball, trying to battle with it on the near wing, Whistle. That is going to result in Pioneer with the restart. Karsh has it in her own defensive third. She gets about 5 yards back. Karsh arcs it all the way down the field. That headed up by Lee. Powell trying to get to it. That ball right in the center, launched up high in the air. That comes over on the near touchline. Samaha trying to move over as Hornberger headed it. Now Cruz has it on the near touchline. Cruz trying to launch ahead. That went off of Samaha. And pulled down. Trying to come ahead. And collected. And then fired ahead by Kraft. The ball headed. And along the near touchline, Cruz sends it towards the goal into the Pioneer defensive third. Knox grabs it in the 18. Knox comes to the edge of the 18. Now she'll punt it away. That ball bounces just shy of the center line, coming ahead with it. That moved over. Baker racing to try and get to it. That launched the other way as that was Koch sending it down. Battle for it just shy. Now here comes Neubauer. Neubauer heads back. Sent ahead down the near wing, intercepted. Now racing ahead with it is Kraft. Kraft has that pulled away by Baker. Here comes Pioneer. Baker feeds ahead to Powell. Powell has it right in the center. Powell coming over to the far wing. Powell feeding it down that far touchline, racing to get it. And centering attempt knocked back by Kraft. And trying to feed it ahead. Cahill on that far wing. Shot knocked back by the defender. Coming over as Caldwell had it. The ball over on the far wing. Here comes Neubauer. Neubauer feeds it just outside the attacking third. That's skied up high and over the goal. That will result in a goal kick. 0-0 is the score. 34-45 left to go here in the first. David will kick it away from the 6. That will come all the way down on the far wing. As Neubauer trying to send it, that goes coming down the touchline on the far wing, sent back by Nanos. Now here comes Neubauer. That will go out as Poppins to throw it in on the far touchline. That one will go off of Nanos. Coming down, headed away, that loose on the far wing, trying to pull it. Nanos battling over there with Cahill, pair of number 7s. Now that launched right to the center stripe, coming ahead with it. Here comes Samaha. Samaha feeding it. Knocked over. Lee trying to get to it. Now coming down on the far wing. Here comes Poppins. Poppins over to Neubauer. Neubauer back over to Poppins. Coming down on the far touchline. Poppins trying to get inside the attacking third. Now that launch by Neubauer. Headed back away by Caldwell. That comes over on the near wing. Is that moved ahead by Hornberger. That will go out on the near touchline. Samaha has it. Samaha with the throw-in. Launched over the center line as that comes down on the near wing and goes out. Off of Saline, so Samaha goes down for the throw-in on the near touchline. Scoreless so far. We're approaching 33 minutes left here in the first. Samaha runs back just at the attacking third. Samaha launches it as trying to get to it. Here comes Nanos. That knocked the other direction. Neubauer has it. Neubauer centered up, moves it over on the far wing. Hood feeding it over to Nanos. Nanos along the far touchline. Here comes Poppins, who blasts it into the 18. That knocked down by David. David has it. Good chance by Pioneer. David just on the edge of the 18 as she'll drop kick it. As that's launched right to the center line. Neubauer trying to get it, fired ahead by Gray. Coming down on the far wing, Martin trying to pull it for Saline. Martin with the cross. As that comes back over, Cruz has it sent back. Now that launched, and Knox with the save. Knox gathering it in. Knox comes the edge of her 18. Now Knox launches it out of the 18-yard penalty box. That bounces over the center line. Headed a couple times. Nano's chasing it. Now that pulled away by Driscoll. Over on the far wing. As that is Cahill with it. Cahill with the cross. Now here comes over Samaha. Feeding it, trying to get to Powell. That's sent right back to the center line. Great. Feeding it ahead for Saline. Trying to get it to Martin for Saline on the far wing. Martin coming over. Martin with a shot. Save by Knox. 31-25 left to go here in the first. Scoreless so far. Knox launches it down the field. Nano sends it back over. Over on the near wing. Hood sending it. That goes out of the near touchline. Hornberger with the throw in for Saline. That down the near touchline. Racing. Trying to get to it is Kramer. Stopping it and knocking it out of bounds. Hornberger with the throw in on the near touchline for Saline. Hornberger throws it in. Karsh trying to knock it away. As knocked down. Lee trying to get it. Now that shot gathered in by Knox. Knox again heads to the edge of the 18. Knox launches it down the far wing. And sent ahead. Powell trying to get to it. At back past the defense. Picked up by Kraft. That comes spinning over on the near wing. Kraft trying to launch it down. That went off of Baker. That will be a throw in on the near touchline for Saline as Hornberger tosses it in. That gathered in and launched by Kramer. Hood trying to get to it. Hood fires it down into the attacking third. Here comes Powell. Powell launches it into the 18, and that goes over the crossbar, out of bounds. That will be a goal kick for Saline, as David will bring it just on the edge of the 6, and that's going to be kicked away by Caldwell. As Caldwell gets back along the end line. Now Caldwell launches it down the field. In along the near wing, that ball comes over. Picking it up, coming down. Hornberger feeding ahead to Cruz. Cruz trying to work her way and get around Kramer. Kramer trying to stay ahead. That headed by Neubauer. Now Hood knocking it away on the far wing. Launched all the way down. That comes right to the center line, over on the near wing, trying to feed it in front. That pulled down by Hornberger. Hornberger right at the center stripe, poked away by Baker. Now launched down the field by Saline. Karsh getting in front of it. Now Martin trying to get behind. Kramer with a great defensive play. Puts it out of bounds on the near wing to stop the rush for Saline. Well, Hornberger has it on the near touchline with the throw-in. That grabbed, coming ahead over on the near wing. Gray with the cross. That high in the air off the crossbar. Comes out into the 18 on the far side. Good block over there by Poppins. Coming ahead with it. As Pioneer gets it out of their own defensive third, that comes back. Lee takes it off the chin. That comes over along the near touchline. Hornberger moves it on the other side of the center line, spinning with it. Caldwell feeds it down the near wing. Now trying to pull it away. Cruz has it knocked back. Now into the defensive half for Saline. Poppins trying to pull it away for Pioneer. Poppins has it. Now trying to feed it through. That went off of Koch. That will be on the far wing with the throw-in. That launched up high in the air, comes over. Sent ahead, Samaha has it, pulled down. Now Hornberger has Baker knocking it away. Baker with the cross. That ahead into the far corner. Nanos racing for it. Nanos trying to cross over to Powell. That knocked away. Fed all the way down the near wing, headed by Poppins. Poppins battling with it, trying to pull that away from Driscoll. That goes out of the far touchline. Poppins with the throw-in. It's on that far touchline. Poppins Throws it down towards the corner. Powell has it. Powell trying to battle a pair of Saline players. Now that launched all the way down the near wing. Martin trying to send it ahead. Martin over center. Martin racing down into the attacking third. Martin with Kramer in front. Kramer kicks it. Not allowing that. Not allowing that to get to be a shot on goal. That will result in a corner kick for Saline. So it was 26 minutes, 26 seconds left to go here in the first, scoreless. Gray to take the corner for Saline in the far corner. Ball set. Gray launches it in the air as that knocked out of bounds. That will be another corner. So Saline will have it in the near corner. Again, I think that is Gray to take it. Indeed, it is Gray. Has it set at the near corner now. Gray launches it on the cross. That headed inside. Trying to shoot, and Knox with it. Great save by Knox. Excellent opportunity on the chance for Saline, but Knox keeps a clean sheet early. Knox blasted all the way down over the center stripe. Powell with it. Powell heading down on the far wing. Now Powell turns back, centering it over, trying to get it to Baker. That launch the other way. Kramer trying to knock it over, but a whistle. That will be brought back just outside of Pioneer's attacking third. Saline will restart. As that fired down by Koch. Now Gray sends it into the near corner. As that will go out, that will result in a goal kick. As Snyder was trying to get to it. Warden comes in for Saline. Smith and Jacko for Pioneer. Karsh, the ball at the edge of the 6. Karsh launches it all the way down, that headed back. Now Powell trying to move it over on the near wing. Lee feeds it over to Smith. Smith, that headed back. Powell trying to move it over to Smith. Smith, back over to Powell now. Powell on the near wing. Powell trying to get around a trio of Saline defenders. That fired ahead. Now Gray trying to get to it. Hood trying to knock it away. Gray sends it over into the attacking third. Here comes Martin racing. Newbar trying to get in front. That shot goes wide. Oh, just misses the far pole as they got Martin out in front. Newbar was racing, but Martin able to stay in front. Knox came out to challenge, but that shot just went wide to the left. 23 minutes left to go here in the first half. Karsh punches it down the field, high up in the air. Now Smith trying to make a move. That comes over on the near wing. Sent ahead by Kraft. Now back over. Karsh on the near wing trying to avoid pressure by Gray. That kicked out by Pioneer. So now Snyder with the throw-in on the near touchline. Snyder over to Gray. Gray along the near touchline. Now the cross by Snyder as Karsh knocks it away. Battle for it out in front. Now that comes back over as Cahill trying to get to it. Now out. That will be Pioneer with the inbound with the throw-in on the far touchline. Baker with it. Baker moves it back over to Poppin. Poppin over to Baker. Baker heading back over. Baker centers it over onto the near wing to Samaha. Samaha coming up the near touch line, trying to avoid pressure by Snyder. Now Hood has it. Now bringing in a shot. as that's tipped far by Knox. Knox got a piece of it to drive it wide. That will result in a corner by Saline. Gray has it set in the far corner for this set piece. High in the air, that kicked and just goes wide to the near side. As with a really good opportunity, trying to see, I believe, I think that was Snyder over there. Brought back for a goal kick. Karsh will have it set on the edge of the 6-yard penalty box. Now Karsh blasts it downfield. That ball right to the center stripe, trying to pull it down. Jekyll on the far wing. Jekyll launches it as that right to the 18, but grabbed by David. Pull back over on the far side. Jackal with it. Pop it up high in the air. Over on the far side. Trying to pull it over. That's sent ahead to Powell. Powell with it. Centered up. Powell has it knocked away. We're launching it. Martin with it down the far touchline. Karsh staying ahead. That into the 18. Launched away by Samaha. Still in the attacking third. Over to Caldwell for Saline. Knocked away. Good job by Samaha. Samaha coming down with it. Samaha over the center line. Samaha feeds it over. Here comes Jackal. Jackal pulled away. Now fed ahead by Driscoll. Launched. Fired by Karsh down on the far wing. Knocked back over. Sent ahead. That went off a Jackal out of bounds. Popped up high in the air. Knocked down. Saline with it. Feeding it over to Snyder. Snyder. That comes into the 18. Racing over to get it. Knox. As Gray coming in. Knox, good job to move over. And grab that. Under 19 minutes left to go. Punted up high in the air. Poppins launches it up. That comes over. Samaha sending it down. Now here comes Lee. Lee trying to move it over. Smith has it. Smith back over to Lee. Lee centering it. That goes over. Here comes Jackal. Jackal feeding it. Now racing Smith. Trying to get it into the near corner. Smith stops it there. Smith coming over for a cross. That went off a defender. Here comes Jackal. Jackal back in along the near sideline. Jackal moves it over. Now that knocked over. Jackal keeping it inbounds. Trying to launch it over to Powell. Powell sends it back over onto the far wing. Now coming ahead, Poppins feeding it into the far corner. Launch back by Driscoll the other way and out the far touchline. Pioneer with the throw in. Poppins has it on the far wing. $17:45 left to go. As Rumor in for Saline. Paul McDonald in for Pioneer. Popped up by Neubauer. Headed away. Pioneer trying to keep it in the attacking third. That moves over now. Coming ahead with it. That launch by Snyder. Karsh picks it up in her own defensive third. Karsh trying to come over. That launch right to the center line. Paul McDonald feeds it over on the far wing. Now ahead to Baker. Baker coming down on the far wing. Baker launches it into the attacking third. That into the 18. Into the near corner. Stop there. Centering attempt. As that blocked and out of bounds off of Croft. Smith did a good job to corral it, but trying to go away on that cross. Kraft got in the way. Here comes Samaha on the throw-in on the near touchline. Paul McDonald sends it back. Now Smith with the cross. Paul McDonald trying to feed it over. That comes back right at the edge of the attacking third. Poppins launches it towards the goal. That goes just wide to the near side. That will result in a goal kick. As we approach the 16-minute mark. Popped up high in the air by Koch. Now brought ahead by Gray. Gray putting it in along the far wing. That goes out. Poppins to inbound it with the throw in. That just over center. Now bouncing. Jackal gets it over now on the far wing with the cross. That knocked down. Sent the other direction by Saline, trying to keep it in bounds. That out of bounds as Rain last to touch it. Now Poppins with the throw in on the far touchline. Poppins tosses it. Trying to get it over on the far wing. Baker. Baker moves over to Jackal. Jackal over to Paul McDonald. Paul McDonald trying to dribble around. Here comes Hood. Hood with a shot and it. Oh, just goes wide. David got a piece of it, driving it wide. It should result in a corner kick for Pioneer. That ball set to the near corner. Poppins with the corner kick. Pioneer with their first set piece of the day. 14:30 left to go. Launched up high, knocked down, and along the near wing as Poppins sending it, and David grabs it as right in front. Baker trying to get to it, but David able to grab it down, stealing away an excellent scoring opportunity for Pioneer. Will result in a goal kick from the edge of the 6. Now coming over to do it is Koch. Koch comes back inside the goal area. Now Koch puts her right leg into it and back into the middle third. Over, coming ahead with it, Hornberger. Hornberger puts it in along the near wing. Pulled back. That went off of Samaha as Warden's blast popped off of Samaha. Now Hornberger with the throw-in on the near touchline. Hornberger sends it into the near corner. And pulled back. Neubauer trying to grab it. That went out of bounds again. Hornberger with the throw-in in the attacking third. That comes back. Hornberger with the cross. That popped up high in the air. Trying to get to it. Smith on the near wing. Knocked away by Kraft. Here comes Hornberger for Saline. Samaha trying to separate her from the ball. That skied in. Now Neubauer knocking it the other direction. As Paul McDonald back over to Neubauer. Neubauer ahead to Smith. Smith trying to get over the center line. That deflected. Racing over to get it is Hood. Hood chipping it over along the far wing. Here comes Poppins. Poppins coming down the far touchline. Now coming in. Moves it into the attacking third. Racing down. Baker. That comes over and will go out the end line. Result in a goal kick. 12:35 left to go here in the first. Koch to kick it away from the edge of the 6. That skied down back into the middle third. Baker trying to spin with it, knocked down by Hornberger. Now here comes Paul McDonald. Paul McDonald feeds it back towards center. That launch by Gray into the Pioneer defensive third. Over to get it. Now Knox lets it roll into the 18, and she has it. 12 minutes left to go. 0-0 is the score. Knox with the punt. Over the center line. Powell with it. Powell has that kicked away. Now down on the far wing. Gray with it for Saline. Gray launches it into the attacking third. Samaha gets in front of Hornberger. Good defensive play by Samaha as she's into the near corner. That will result in a goal kick for Pioneer. Comes over on the near wing. That's sent ahead by Kraft. Grabbed by Samaha. Samaha feeding it back over to Kramer. Kramer moves it down the near wing. Here comes Smith. Smith spinning with it. Smith launches it. Rolls in now, put back towards the center line. Here comes Neubauer, who pops it up high in the air. The ball loose. Poppins sends it ahead. Now that rolls back. Kraft will let it go over to David. David in the 18. David with the drop kick. High in the air, drops in just shy of the center line into the Pioneer defensive third. Poppins switches directions, coming down over to Neubauer. Neubauer has that knocked away by Gray down the far wing. Coming is Martin for Saline. Martin has that knocked away by Neubauer. That went off of Saline, so that will be a throw-in on the far touchline for Pioneer as we approach the 10-minute mark. Baker with it on the far wing. Baker coming ahead with it. That went off of a defender. That will continue to be a throw-in for Pioneer. Poppins with the throw-in. Now Neubauer back over to Poppins, back over to Neubauer. Neubauer trying to come ahead with it, feeding it over to Poppins on the far touchline. That back over to Karsh. Karsh sending it ahead, knocked down by Caldwell. Now Neubauer launched ahead by Poppins, headed up high in the air by Smith. Now over to Jackal. Jackal has it. Jackal moving over on the far wing. Jackal racing down into the offensive third. That ball into the 18, racing over. David grabs it. We approach the 9-minute mark. 0-0 so far. Pioneer versus Saline varsity match. Again, Saline beating Skyline. One of the few teams to do that this season. They did that 2 days ago. That ball in along the near touchline and out. That will be a throw-in by Samaha on that near touchline. Samaha tosses it down, trying to get to a Paul McDonald. That goes out. They say that off a Pioneer. Hornberger with the throw-in. Now, Hornberger goes off with a substitution. Snyder comes in. Thrown in, trying to get to it, fired. Knocked down by Poppins. Here comes Jackal. Jackal coming down on the far wing. Jackal racing. Jackal into the offensive third. Jackal into the attacking third. Comes over. Centering on the cross. That knocked all the way back. In along the far touchline. Bringing it ahead. Saline. As coming down, Neubauer trying to feed it over. That cross over to Smith, off the body, into the 18. That knocked out of the near touchline. That is going to be Pioneer ball. Samaha with the throw-in. Webb in for Pioneer. Samaha with the throw-in as trying to bring it over. Baker trying to get a shot. Caldwell knocked it away. That loose comes out of the attacking third, now popped up high in the air by Kramer, trying to pull it down. That sent the other direction. Samaha popping it up. Now over on the near wing, that goes out off of Saline. Samaha with the throw in on the near touchline. Headed back by Saline. Now Gray trying to get to it. Neubauer and Gray battling in along the near wing. That trying to pull it back. Neubauer with it. Neubauer knocked and fired deep. Kramer comes over, making sure that Cruz can't get to it before Knox can. We approach the 6-minute mark as Knox sends it away downfield, headed by Neubauer. Now pulled back over to Paul McDonald, launched. Kramer feeding it ahead as Karsh over to Webb. Webb over on the far wing as trying to knock that ahead as Poppins. Webb heads it over to Jackal. Jackal right at the center line. Now into the attacking third, coming over Baker. Baker trying to make a move around it. Oh, that went off the crossbar. Still loose. Now they're knocked away. Webb with a shot, went off a defender. Another shot went over the crossbar. Oh, Pioneer with some opportunities, just not able to get it in. It was the initial shot off the crossbar. David hopping up high to get it. As we approach the 5-minute mark here in the first half, 0-0 the score. That ball in the middle third, sent over the center line, racing down on the far wing. Out of the far touchline. Now Poppins to throw it in. Poppins with the throw in. Goes over the center line, off of Neubauer, launched the other direction by Saline. That ball, Martin had it. Now Karsh trying to separate Cruz from it. Cruz over to Martin. Now Kramer knocks it high the other direction. Jackal trying to get to it on that far touchline. That goes out. Now Poppins with the throw-in on the far touchline. 4:20 left to go here in the first. 0-0 the score. That goes out. That off a Pioneer. That will be the Hornets with the throw-in. Driscoll ahead. Webb trying to get it. With the throw-in down along the far wing. Picking it up, dead centered by Martin, now grabbed. Here comes Kramer over to Paul McDonald. Paul McDonald had that knocked away by Koch. Coming ahead, that launched, moving over on the near wing, trying to get to it. Snyder into the near corner. Comes back towards the top of the attacking third. That launched up into the stands. Off a Pioneer, that will be a throw-in. Croft gets the ball for Saline, 3:15 and counting. 0-0. Kraft throws it in. Kraft puts it over now. That knocked away, racing over Poppins, over to Webb. Webb coming down. Webb feeding it ahead, knocked down now. Battle for it. Jekyll fires it, gets it away from Caldwell. Racing into the near corner. Smith trying to pull it away. Smith versus Kraft. That went off of Kraft. As that will go over to Saline. As Kraft with the throw-in on the near touchline. That knocked down. Goes off. Cruz sends it back. Now that launched as Karsh plays it off the body. That will result in a Saline restart just shy of the center line. Now that blasted away. Knocked down. Out Baker with it. Under 2 minutes to go. And sent all the way back as David lets it get into the 18, then picks it up. That launched all the way down, bounces shy of center. Poppins with the header. Caldwell sends it over on the far wing. Now that pulled down on that far wing by Samaru. Out. Headed down. Battle for right at midfield as Neubauer heads it. Now Paul McDonald pops it up high in the air. Saline trying to return the favor. Paul McDonald has that kicked away by Caldwell. Neubauer trying to get it away from Gray. Now Poppins launches it down into the attacking half. Now Smith trying to get it. Kraft puts it over top of the attacking third on the far wing. Here comes Jackal with a shot that grabbed. Coming back over. David on the edge of the 18. Puts it up high in the air. That hits just over the center line. Webb over on the far wing. Reb brings it back into her defensive zone. Karsh now sends it over center. That headed ahead with it. Ooh, Baker looks like as she headed it, a little contact there. Steps away from it. That pops over the center line. Now down on the near wing. 13 seconds left to go. Karsh comes over on the near wing. Holding it away from Snyder. That goes out. Now Karsh with the throw in on the near wing. That launches back. And that will do it. As we're at half, it is 0-0. Let us step away for a moment.
Here are 5 good reasons for high school multi-sport participation. Fewer overuse injuries, less opportunity for emotional burnout, exposure to different kids and coaches, exposure to different roles, and learning to compete better. Being a multi-sport participant can help a kid become a more well-rounded person. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Where can you find good information on all kinds of topics related to the well-being of our student athletes? Check out the health and safety page of the MHSAA website. Learn about multi-sport participation, heat and hydration, cardiovascular resources, as well as insurance benefits available for our students. It's all on the health and safety page of MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
The love of the game draws us to sports as players, coaches, spectators, and officials. For officials, it's a way to stay in the game they once played, to feel the thrill of putting on the uniform, stepping out of the playing surface, hustling to make the call, and building the relationships which can only be built in sports. If you still have that love for the game, we always need new officials. Register now at MHSAA.com. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Sportsmanship has never been more important between the lines in athletics and outside those lines in our communities. To listen, to respect, to understand, to practice common decency, to have competition without contentiousness. Sportsmanlike qualities are essential components of life itself. Let's all work together to not only be good sports, but good people. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Have we gotten to the point where at some high school game that an official has finally had enough from coaches, players, and adults, pulls off the whistle, and offers it to you? Let's hope not. There's no way you could do a better job. It's on everyone to promote good sportsmanship. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Nearly 2,000 of the state's top student athletes will be recognized for excelling academically and in school activities through the MHSAA's Scholar Athlete Award, underwritten by Farm Bureau Insurance. The applicants will be in the running for a total of 32 $1,000 college scholarships. Application materials are available exclusively online through the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Health concerns in high school sports go beyond physical injuries. The mental well-being of our young people is a hotter topic than ever before. The Michigan High School Athletic Association website has resources to help adults and students recognize potential problems and deal with them in a positive way. You can learn more about these mental health resources on the Health and Safety page of the MHSAA website. A message from the MHSAA promoting the value and values of educational athletics. Can you go anywhere and find an endeavor in society where we've come to accept and tolerate an adult, and even kids, treating another adult the way we allow spectators, coaches, and players to treat a high school game official? Can you? No one has the right to abuse game officials. So before you blurt something out about that next close call, consider this. Without the officials, nobody wins. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
Here are 5 more good reasons for multi-sport participation. Multi-sport athletes are more coachable. They have higher athletic ceilings. They become better talent in the long run. They have higher sports IQs. Their sports skills transfer, and they are better teammates. Multi-sport participation is cross-training for life. Learn more at the MHSAA website. A message from the Michigan High School Athletic Association, promoting the value and values of educational athletics.
30 minutes up on the clock, getting ready, 0-0 here, entering the second. Both teams had some fantastic chances. Both goaltenders have really played very, very well. Pioneer had a shot that went off of the crossbar and bounced back out. They had a series of 3 different chances on that set. But we stay scoreless. Martin set right in the center circle. Ball set right at center circle. Pioneer going from left to right here in the second half. Martin sends it back. Now Gray launches it forward as Poppins heads it down. Now Poppins plays it off the body. Coming over out of the defending third. Poppins over the center line. Knocked down. Now picked up by Lee. Lee continues to move it. Here comes Baker. Baker. That went off of a defender high up in the air. Neubauer heading it into the attacking third. Here comes Hood trying to get the Powell. Oh, that pulled away and grabbed as getting right in front was Koch, slowing up Powell. That gave David a chance to grab it. David on the edge of the 18, boots it away high up in the air. That hits just shy of the center line. Now Baker moves it back over to Poppins. Poppins over to Neubauer. Neubauer back over, just out of the reach of Poppins. That goes out the near touch line. Now coming over, Driscoll with the throw in. Playing it off the body. That move back over. Now launched down. Karsh heads it back. Kramer grabs it in along the near sideline. Pops it up high in the air. That will go into the tunnel underneath the stadium as wonderful photographer going back to get it. That tossed over to Driscoll. Driscoll with the throw in. Now trying to bring it down was Rain. That goes out. Here comes Pioneer. Poppins with the throw-in on the near touchline. Poppins. That headed back and right back into the stands area. Now launched over. Poppins has it on the near touchline. Poppins throws it over. That goes out off a Hood. That will be Saline ball. Grabbed by Driscoll. Driscoll with the throw in. That knocked down. Coming ahead is Martin. Now pulled away. Here comes Neubauer. Neubauer moving it back over. Neubauer over center. Puts it down, and that goes just out. As Nanos trying to get to it and not quite just out of her reach. And on the throw in, Driscoll for Saline in her own defensive third. Now tosses it. As Nanos heads it back. Now that's sent. Battle for it right at the center line. Moved over, popped up high in the air by Cruz. That went off of Samaha. Back towards the center line. Headed up. Coming down on that far side by Caldwell. Caldwell moves it over. That to Hornberger. Hornberger over into the far corner. Now Kramer stops the rush. Sends it out. Saline with the throw-in on the far touchline. Now Gray moving back over as Warden had it, knocked away. Here comes Pioneer. Nanos with it. Nanos sends it over center now. Here comes Powell. Powell coming down on the near wing. Powell feeds it ahead. Here comes Hood racing to get it. That knocked out of the near touchline by Saline. Poppins with the throw-in on the near touchline. 36:30 left to go here in the second. 0-0. Lee with it on the near wing. That is out off of Pioneer. They're going to call a restart now on a free kick that's sent all the way over, headed by Karsh. Right at the center line. Nanos trying to get it over as that will go out the near touch line. Saline. That is going to go back over, and there'll be a restart. Karsh will have it just on the defensive side of the center line. Karsh gets about 8 yards to work. Karsh launches it forward. That into the 18. Kickback. Now pulled and fired ahead by Cruz. Kramer trying to get it on the far wing, trying to get it away from Hornberger. As Kramer sends it down the far wing, now controlled by Saline. Caldwell fires it ahead, knocked away by Samaha, but out of bounds off of Pioneer. As Hornberger to throw it in on the far touchline. Hornberger sends it down that far side, out, off of Snyder. That will be Pioneer ball. As Samaha will throw it in on the far touchline. Over to Neubauer. Neubauer, that goes out. And we'll go over to Saline with the throw-in. Knocked down by Samaha. Now Martin trying to fire it ahead. That knock by Neubauer coming over. Here comes Pioneer. Baker coming down with it. Baker makes a move, cuts towards the center. Baker in the attacking third over to Nanos. Nanos moves it back over, trying to find some room and along the near sideline, pulling it. Here comes Poppins. Poppins looking to get across. Poppins with the cross. That goes out of bounds before it gets into the 18. We're approaching the 34-minute mark. Good movement to get it over. Poppins with the cross. Just went out of bounds before it could get to the goal. Now launched on the goal kick down as that bounces. Lee sends it, that pulled by Hornberger down the far wing. Hornberger goes over the center line. Hornberger racing down. Hornberger gets into the attacking third for Saline. Now here comes Gray. Gray trying to make her way in, and Knox grabs it. Good positioning by Knox. Now Knox comes to the edge of the 18. Knox boots it away as that's sent down. That ball. Caldwell had it. Caldwell sends it back over. Here comes Snyder down the far wing. Snyder into the 18 with that shot, but grabbed by Knox. Knox comes to the edge of the 18-yard penalty box. Pops it up high. Now Hood trying to get to it. Nanos has it just shy of midfield over along the near wing. Battle for it as Rain sends it back for Saline. Now that launched all the way down the near wing, makes a bounce over Karsh. Karsh back to get it. Karsh using her body to protect the ball, trying to get away from Martin. Karsh feeding it over to Neubauer. Neubauer trying to get it over to Poppins. That pulled back. Gray sends it all the way over onto the far wing, coming ahead with it. Hornberger into the far corner. Here comes Snyder. Snyder and along the end line. Snyder just outside the 18. Knocked away. Good defensive play by Kramer. Now that moved back over to Caldwell. Caldwell has it knocked away by Lee. Lee coming down. That ball trying to get it on the defensive third. Here comes Pioneer. Over the center stripe, coming down, that fed ahead, and then rocketed the other direction by the Saline defense. Sent over, Snyder, that fed all the way into the far corner. Now Knox grabs it. Knox comes to the edge of the 18, under 32 minutes left to go. That ball back up into Pioneer's defensive third, coming ahead. That launched into the 18. Knox calmly walks over, plucks that up. Now Knox looking over on the near wing. Knox sends it down. Now Hood moves it back over. Pull Poppins over to Neubauer. Neubauer trying to avoid pressure by Gray. Neubauer dribbles to her left. Now feeds it back over to Kramer. Kramer sends it ahead over the center line. Over to Powell. Powell coming over on the near wing. Powell with Nanos in front of her. Powell coming over. Now comes back towards midfield, trying to get a little bit of room to work. Now Powell has it knocked away. Gets it back over. Sent ahead by Kramer. Whistle. Pioneer with the restart is Karsh. To kick it away, Karsh quickly sends it ahead into that pull back over, headed by Kramer. Now Neubauer, skies ahead, that headed back over the other way. Now Hood over Nanos on the near sideline. That goes out. That will stay. Pioneer ball. Poppins with the throw in on the near touchline. Poppins, that over knocked away, trying to get it to Powell. Now Neubauer heads it, pulled down, launched ahead by Caldwell, coming down on that far wing. There's a whistle. As that will be a restart for Saline, as Koch will kick it away. Just inside the middle third, Koch skies it all the way down. Pioneer in their own defensive third. Karsh sends it along the far sideline. That goes out the far touchline. Now Hornberger with the throw in. Snyder on the far wing. Snyder with the cross that moved over, gathered in, fed ahead to Martin. Martin, now Karsh knocks it off the body, over on the near wing. Poppins, as Poppins sends that off of Rain. That will be a throw in for Pioneer on the near touchline for Poppins. That headed back over by Driscoll. Battle for it on the near wing. Neubauer moves it over to Poppins in the near corner. Poppins launches it the other direction. That goes out the near touchline. Driscoll with the throw in. Saline in the attacking third. Launched out off of Saline. Poppins. So as some lucky fan chases the ball down as it's trying to wander away on that far wing. Nice throw over to Poppins. Poppins with the throw in. Neubauer over. That picked up, trying to get to it. Controlled by Hornberger. Hornberger has Lee coming over to watch her. Hornberger trying to get the edge. Now Hornberger coming down the far wing. Hornberger with the cross. That grab by Samaha. Samaha has it knocked away, then launched down the field as Baker trying to get to it. That pulled back over. Coming down, there's a whistle. As Caldwell was down, there's a yellow card. So free kick for Saline. So they have it just inside the attacking third. As Koch. That grabbed. Good job by Knox to pluck that out of midair. Karsh helps her up. Booted. High up in the air. That goes over the center line. Nanos heads it ahead to Powell. Powell over on the near wing. Powell moves it back over to Poppins. Poppins dribbling along the near touchline. Poppins moves it back. Now over to Powell. Powell has that knocked away. Fed ahead. Here comes Martin. That knocked away by Karsh. Back over to Neubauer. Neubauer feeds it. Now Kramer launches it high up in the air as Hood heads it. Now pulled down by Caldwell. Caldwell trying to move it over. Lee trying to pull that away. Picked up, bringing it ahead. As Neubauer trying to pull it right at the center line. Then launched as that ball over on the far wing. Sent back. Neubauer with it. Neubauer over the center line. That over to Powell. Powell now trying to feed it ahead. Poppins coming down the near wing. Poppins with the cross and the shot that grabbed by David. Oh, Nanos right there hoping for a rebound. David not allowing it. 26:40 left to go. Here, 0-0 is the score. That launched as Neubauer heads it. Karsh now racing to get it. That goes out of bounds. That will stay with Saline on the near wing. As Driscoll on the throw-in on the near touchline. As we approach the 26-minute mark, counting down. As thrown by Driscoll, coming ahead with it. That moved over Lee, trying to get it now. Saline. As that pulled away by Poppins. Poppins launches it down the near wing. Here comes Powell. Powell trying to get a little room to work. Powell. As that goes out, that will stay Pioneers' ball. As Koch trying to stop the Pioneer rush now. Now launched and out the near touchline. Pioneer with the throw-in. Poppins to throw it in. On the near touchline. That over to Neubauer. Neubauer off the body. Neubauer moves it back over to Poppins. Poppins back over to Neubauer. Neubauer coming down the near wing. Neubauer into the attacking third. Neubauer sends it ahead, trying to get to Powell. Now Nanos launches it down the near wing. As that will go over to Saline. No! They will switch that over to Pioneer. Poppins with the throw-in. Here comes Hood. That knocked away by Gray. Gray launches it all the way down the field in a foot race. Martin trying to get to it. Kramer trying to race over. Here comes Martin. Good job by Knox to grab it out of here. Oh, good positioning and good hands by Knox. As Martin just showed a burst of speed and had an edge over the defenders. That ball shy of midfield. That comes over. Here comes Nanos. The ball wouldn't settle down. Nanos trying to move it ahead. That back over. As now coming over. That grab by Caldwell. Lee pulls it away. Here comes Hood. Ahead to Powell. Powell has it tackled away from behind. Now here comes Hood. Hood down the near wing trying to split a pair of defenders to get to Nanos. That goes out. Poppins on the near touchline. Pioneer with good pressure in the attacking third. Comes over. That launched on a cross by Pioneer. Now sent. Here comes Poppins. Heads it back, trying to get into the 18. That goes out on the near touchline. That stays Pioneer ball. Pioneer with some pressure on Saline. Poppins throws it back over. Grabbed by Neubauer. Neubauer tries to knee it over. Now that pulled back. They'll head back into the middle third. Martin with it. Now Karsh trying to get it over. As that will be off of Pioneer. That will be Saline ball. As that's sent in by Driscoll, trying to come ahead with it. Knocked away. Now right to the center. Pulled back over as Cahill had it for a moment. Now coming down, Caldwell feeds it down the far wing. Snyder sending it ahead. That picked up by Martin. Martin into the attacking third. Moving over with it is Samaru. That knocked over along the far wing, pulling it back. Snyder had it kicked back away. Now over to Cahill. Cahill for Saline. Over to Snyder on the far wing. Snyder moves it over to Warden. Now back over to Snyder along the far touchline. Snyder over to Gray. Gray brings it back. Here comes Caldwell with a blast. That goes just wide to the near side. Goal kick for Pioneer. 22-20 left to go here in the second. That ball blasted all the way over the center line as Baker coming down the far wing. Baker has it kicked away as that went off of Kraft. Pioneer with the throw-in. Samaha with the throw-in on the far touchline. Samaha tosses it in. Pioneer coming down over on the far wing. That brought back, launched Popped up high in the air. Neubauer trying to get in front of it. Neubauer launches it. That headed back the other way by the Hornets. Now played by Kramer. Off the body by Gray, sending it ahead. Here comes Karsh. Karsh in their defensive third. Feeds it back over. Hood spinning with it. Hood trying to get away. There's a whistle. Pioneer with the restart. Still have it. Just shy of the center line. Karsh gets herself about 8 yards back. Karsh races up to it. Puts her right foot in it. That all the way down. Popped up by a head high in the air. Now coming over, here comes Baker. Baker with a shot. And that hit down off of the field goal post, I believe. Did it go off of the crossbar? As good job by a good chance by Pioneer. That comes back over with it. Now here comes Pioneer down the near line. That's sent by Samaru out the near touch line. That deflected as the crossbar is just underneath the field goal post. And that deflected, I believe it was off the field goal post and came down, but I might be wrong. Poppins with the throw in. Now that headed by Neubauer. Over to Baker. Baker making a move. She had that excellent shot mere moments ago. Now coming over. Shot by Hood. That went off of a defender. Now coming over. That sent by Gray. In, and that will be out the near touch line. Here comes Poppins with the throw in. Under 20 minutes to go. Poppins over to Neubauer. Neubauer playing it off the body, corralling it now, coming over on the near wing. Neubauer feeds it ahead. That knocked down. Now over on the near wing. That moved over to Cahill. Cahill. That's sent all the way down, just shy of the center line. Moved back over to Iwerden. Now Caldwell feeding it down the far wing. As that will go out. Samaha with the throw in on the far touch line. Under 19 minutes left to go. 0-0. Both teams have had some chances, but Pioneer keeping good pressure on Saline recently. They'd love to continue that. Samaha on the far touchline. Samaha with the throw in. That headed by Neubauer. Now sent the other direction by Cahill. Launched by Kramer. Now Nanos. That headed by Saline as a collision. As the official goes over to have a discussion on the far touch line. As Coach Rumble having his say. So Pioneer has it over the center line. Karsh with it set about 8 yards over the center line. Now here comes Karsh with the restart. Karsh blasts it down, that into the 18, headed, and just goes wide. Oh, excellent attempt as Baker has had some fantastic opportunities. As we are under 18 minutes to go. As Driscoll Boots it away out of the 6, coming down on the far wing. Lee sends it ahead. Now Baker coming down the far wing. That knocked away, sent back. Saline launches it over the center line. That rolls back into the Pioneer defensive third as Martin trying to get to it before Karsh pulling it away. Karsh puts it in along the far touchline and out. That will be a throw-in on the far touchline by Saline. That ball on a cross, now over to Poppins. Poppins into the near corner. That goes out. Again, throw-in. As coming over, Driscoll with it on the near touchline with the throw-in. Driscoll. As that down with the cross, heading back over, trying to get to it. Snyder, that goes just wide to the near side. That results. Pioneer touched it last. That will result in a corner as Gray to take the corner. Popped up, and that nice job to knock it away, as that looked like it was going to be a problem over in the far corner, and Samaha got a foot on it. Now here comes Samaha down the far wing, moves it over to Lee. Lee moves it back over, now coming ahead with it. Powell. Powell feeds it down the far wing, racing ahead. Samaha trying to get to it first, now pulled down by Koch. Koch for Saline, has it poked away by Samaha. Koch and Samaha battling on the far touchline. That launched ahead. Now here comes Saline coming down the other direction. Saline blasts it over the center line as here comes Martin. As that knocked away, coming back, as pulling it back, Gray. As that will result in a kick in the attacking third here. So with the free kick, Gray, Pioneer has the wall, bouncing up and down as that launch, Knox stops it, and it goes in. As Knox tried to grab it, but it just spun in, that in the second, as that'll be Gray with it. That was at 15:02. So Saline with the 1-0 lead. Here comes Powell. Powell moving back over. Powell goes over the center line now, coming along the near wing. Powell makes a nifty move, trying to get around pressure. That kick by Hood over to Poppins. Now launched out on the near wing. Poppins with the throw in. Now back over to Karsh. Karsh just the other side of the center line. Karsh launches it into the attacking third. Hood with it. Hood moving it into the near corner for Powell. Powell trying to get to it. That ball. Now Powell on the cross. That went off of a defender. As that got knocked off of Driscoll. Now with the throw in on the near touchline is Poppins. Poppins trying to get to Powell. That ball. Here comes Neubauer trying to get to it. That popped out. That will be a goal kick, as they say, off a Pioneer. That ball set at the edge of the 6. Here's Koch to kick it away. 1-0. Saline with the lead. Koch launches it downfield. That ball gathered in and sent. Now here comes Karsh. Karsh kicks it the other direction. Now here comes Neubauer moving it. That goes out. That will be a throw-in on the near touchline by Pioneer. That went off of a, kicked off of a Saline player. That thrown in. Now Lee moving it back over to Hood. Hood over on the near wing to Poppin. Back over to Hood. That knocked away. Now here comes Martin for Saline. Martin coming down. Martin trying to make it into the 18. Great play by Neubauer to steal it away. Neubauer the other direction. Neubauer over to Hood. Hood has that deflected. That ball comes over on the near wing. Now racing to get it. Samaru trying to get it before it goes out of bounds. Samaru. Now that pulled away by Poppins. Poppins launches it out the near touchline. That will be a throw-in for Saline. Saline with the 1-0 lead. That off of lead off of a free kick. That went in. That pull back over. Here comes Gray. Neubauer knocks that away. That will continue to be a throw-in on the near touchline. As that brought down. Fed ahead, now racing to get it. Lee battling as that was kicked back by Cruz. Now sent ahead, pulling it. Here comes Kraft. Kraft feeds it into the near corner. Now that knocked out of bounds by Kramer for Pioneer. That'll be a throw-in for Saline. Centering attempt as Gray with a shot. Good save by Knox, diving and knocking it away. That will result in a corner as Gray to take the corner in the far corner for Saline. 11:15 left to go. As that cross knocked away, battle for it, as that shot, and that's a field goal. It doesn't count as such as that went over the crossbar. Knox bringing it back over. 10:50 left to go. As Krupka comes in for Pioneer. Karsh back in the net now, comes forward. Karsh blasts it all the way downfield. Lee racing over to get it now. Play Baker coming ahead with it down the far wing. Baker, that went off of a Saline player. That will be a throw-in. On the far touchline, here comes Baker trying to get it away from Kraft as that's launched by Koch. Down towards center, Neubauer feeds it. Now trying to battle for it over on the far wing. That launched all the way down back into the Pioneers side. Knox down the far touchline and out. Snyder with the throw-in. Under 10 minutes left to go. 1-0. Saline with the lead. Saline with the throw-in. As that will come. Saline with the throw-in again. On that far touchline, Snyder, as that is headed down, launched up high in the air by Ramore. That goes out the end line. Last touch by Pioneer. That looks like it's going to be another corner in the far corner for Gray. Now the cross, headed up, and good job by Knox, and then a shot. No goal, no goal, no goal. As Knox saved it, came back, another blast, and Knox with it. Fantastic job by the Pioneer keeper. As that brought right to the center line, coming ahead with it. As that's moved over to Powell. Powell trying to get it back. Launched over. Now here comes Baker. Baker trying to get it back over to Powell. They had it back off of Powell. Now moving over on the near wing. Grabbing it. Neubauer. Neubauer Over to Poppins. Poppins makes a nifty move. Poppins feeds it ahead. Now that grab, spinning with it, Hood. Hood trying to work her way around, moves it back over. Poppins with the blast. That comes down, and a collision. It goes in. Pioneer with the goal to tie it up at 1 apiece. The original shot by Poppins, I'm not sure if it was deflected out in front. So we're not sure, but coming ahead, Gray launches it. The important part is Pioneers tied it up. That's the important part. Over into the near corner, Poppins sends it back out. 1-1 is our score as we are under 8 minutes to go. As the clock needs to run. There we go. As that coming back, launching over on the far wing, racing to get it is Hornberger. That goes out off a Pioneer. Hornberger with the throw in on the far touchline. That comes over to Caldwell. Caldwell back over to Hornberger. Hornberger. Now Neubauer heads it out. Tikakar over there. Now the throw in by Hornberger, headed by Neubauer. That'll go right back out, Hornberger, with the throw in on the far touchline, trying to get it to Cruz. Cruz sending it in along the end line. That'll be a goal kick. Approaching the 7-minute mark, 1-1 is our score. Karsh sets the ball on the edge of the 6-yard penalty box, gets back outside the end line. Karsh arcs it all the way down the field as that hits just shy of the center line. Grabbed by Gray. Gray feeding it. That launched. Sky the bouncing into the far corner. Martin trying to corral it. Kramer trying to knock it away. That ball comes back. Tikakar in the far corner. That goes out. That'll be a throw-in by Hornberger for Saline. Cruz along the near wing. Cruz into the near corner, trying to keep it inbounds. Cruz now pulled away by Neubauer. Neubauer feeds it ahead. That comes out of the Pioneer defensive third, bringing it back. Launched ahead by Baker. Headed back in along the near wing by Driscoll. Driscoll over the center line. Driscoll puts it over. That launched by Gray, racing to get it is Rain. Knocked back the other direction. Picked up by Gray. Gray with the cross. Knocked away. Good job by Kramer to send it all the way down. Racing to get it in along the near wing. Powell trying to steal it away from Driscoll. That goes out. That will result in Powell with the restart just inside the near touchline. 5:25 left to go. Here in the second, 2-2 is our score. That headed back over. Here comes Gray. Gray launching it forward. Here comes Martin with speed. Kramer trying to get to it. Diving and grabbing it is Knox. Knox comes over on the edge of the 18. Knox with the drop kick. As that goes away, Hood trying to head it. Now over to Lee. Lee over to Neubauer. Neubauer battling. That pulled back to Kakar. Over center line. Now headed up by Krupta. Krupta. That moved back. Now controlled by Gray for Saline. That's sent into the near corner of the Pioneer defensive third. Karsh over to Poppins. Poppins starts the Pioneer rush the other direction. Here comes Neubauer. Neubauer sends it between a pair of defenders, but that grabbed. Here comes Gray. Gray for Saline. Coming ahead with it. There's a shot that's going to go wide and grabbed by Knox. Knox comes to the edge of the 18. 4:15 left to go here in the second. 1-1. As that high up in the air, headed back the other way by Cruz. That bounces as Martin playing it off the body. Martin trying to come around the edge. Martin into the near corner as a good slide tackle by Poppins to put it out the near touchline. That went off of Saline, so Poppins with the throw-in on the near touchline as stealing it away. Gray with a shot as good job by Knox to tip it up. That will result in a corner as Gray again to take the corner. 3:20 left to go. Here comes the set piece on the cross shot that knocked away. Another shot that goes out of bounds. Oh no, held in along the end line. No, that did go out. Okay, not crazy. Well, no more crazier than we knew. Karsh will kick it away on the edge of the 6. One to one is our score. 2:45 left to go. Karsh with the blast. Paul McDonald back in for Pioneer as Neubauer heads it. That over the center line. Here comes Baker. Baker moves it over on the far wing for Neubauer. Neubauer coming ahead into the attacking third. Neubauer racing down on the far wing. Neubauer looking for a cross. Neubauer makes a move. Oh, that knocked away. Here comes Saline the other direction as that's played ahead. Bringing it down is Cruz. Cruz launches it. Karsh knocks it down before it can get to Martin. Martin, ever dangerous in that attacking third. That brought back over and launched down into the far corner. That will go out. That will be a throw-in for Pioneer on the far touchline as we are under 2 minutes to go. With the throw-in, 1 minute 40 seconds left to go, 1-1. Game all knotted up. Neubauer sends it ahead. Pioneer would love to give one more opportunity. Saline thinking the same thing as they bring it back into the Pioneer defensive third. Gray sending it over to Martin. Martin trying to get into the 18. That deflected out the end line. Last touch by Saline. Pioneer able to kick it away. As we are coming close to the 1 minute mark. As Karsh launches it downfield. Headed up high in the air, as you hear John say, 1 minute. Trying to pull it down over on the far wing. Here comes Hornberger as it knocked away by Tikakar. Saline with the throw-in on the far touchline. Cruz trying to get it. That headed down. The ball loose. Here comes a shot knocked down by Knox. 30 seconds left to go. Knox boots it away out of the 18. That goes over the center line. Here comes Powell. Now that fired ahead, racing to get it. Here comes Paul McDonald down the far wing. Kraft launches it the other direction. Kraft sends it down the far touchline. That all the way back, fired ahead. Here comes Hood. Hood trying to play it down. Now Saline comes over the center line. That fed ahead. Karsh launches it the other direction. And that will do it. It is a 1-1 game as Pioneer with a number of good opportunities. Saline scores first, but Pioneer comes back with a goal, either a Poppins or deflected out in front. We are not sure. The next game for this Pioneer team will be at Lincoln on the 17th. That will be a 6 p.m. game. For my cameraman, James Wiseman, my name is Mark Wiseman. Thank you so much, everyone, and have a fantastic rest of your night.